The mid-season premiere of The Owl House definitely threw a number of curveballs at us. The limited amount of time left before the Day of Unity, the implied demise of all wild witches, and the most unsettling of all, a verbal message Terra Snapdragon delivers to Luz from none other than Emperor Belos. One that's short, to the point, and utterly confusing.
The Emperor says he's looking forward to meeting you, human.
Belos looks forward to meeting Luz, but he already met Luz and, fought her? He sorta got exactly what he needed from the exchange? So what gives? Maybe the Belos that Luz faced off against in Youngblood Old Souls wasn't the real Emperor Belos, but instead some kind of clone. Maybe a Grimwalker? A clone could explain how he was slinking around the area as his body turned into a mud-like substance. I'd also entertain the notion that Belos could be used as a puppet himself, being manipulated by various Coven heads. Our friends over at Winnie Vision suggested that Terra Snapdragon's brainwashing tea that was used on Rain Whispers could have also been fed to Belos, right under his nose, manipulating his memories for the Coven head's own gain. Go check out Winnie's breakdown of the episode. You probably checked out her Owl House breakdowns on Nerdwire and wonder where the heck she went? They had to migrate to a new channel. So whether you missed her content or haven't been introduced to it in the first place, I definitely recommend checking out her coverage of the episode. Get more than one perspective on what the heck you just watched. But guys, I think this ominous message serves as a huge hint towards the method to Belos' madness. I've said before that Belos always remains 2 steps ahead, keeping everyone under his watch in check and constantly crushing the hopes of our heroes. And how he manages to do this goes beyond manipulation tactics, tapping into a form of magic we haven't really explored yet in the series: Oracle magic. Through this, I believe that Emperor Belos can see the future. In fact, they've shown us this ability already. But before we dive in, I just want to say we've been working our butts off on delivering top-of-the-line content to you with smaller videos like this, alongside some of our biggest projects yet, like my upcoming deep dive into the animation industry and their push for better working conditions, all while I'm also tackling a big move across the country. So if you appreciate the content, please be sure to throw this video a like and subscribe to the Roundtable with notifications on, so you never miss a video and we get a little push to keep going. You guys rock! Now let's dive in. There's 2 points I want to hit in this theory. 1, how Belos is able to see the future, and 2, what he meant by looking forward to meeting Luz. So what exactly are oracles in the first place? Well, outside the Owl House as a show, oracles are known to provide wise and insightful advice or prophetic predictions, most notably including precognition of the future. Essentially, anyone with insight into things that have yet to happen. Although we haven't gotten much of a proper look into the Oracle track in the series, the breadcrumbs that we've been given absolutely build off this concept. The Oracle Coven focuses on fortune-telling and various mind-based magics. Oracles can use their magic to tell the future, such as when Barkus tried mixing potion and Oracle magic in the first day, giving his teacher a premonition of their demise. Lilith also utilized a form of Oracle magic at the end of Separate Tides to spy on the Emperor's Coven, signified by the purple hue in the cauldron. And although it isn't outright stated, I suspect the magic was used in understanding Willow, with the pliers that pulled out Willow's memories, and the spell Ida used to send Luz and Amity into Willow's mind. Although Ida's spell was yellow, I assume on a color stylist end, that was just done to be consistent with her character's signature colors, given that the manifestation of Willow within her mind had a purple tint. Oracles can summon a JoJo stand from the crystal ball, as we saw the Moon Girl possess in the first day, and oracles can use telepathic communication via special amulets, as we saw with Odalia and Amity Blight in Escaping Expulsion. And an oracle's telepathic magic can be severed by breaking an aforementioned amulet. I would wager that Emperor Belos has an access to an extremely powerful variation of Oracle magic, whether that would be through the assistance of another witch, such as the head of the Oracle Coven, a mysterious witch with an elongated handlebar mustache, or my greater suspicion, Belos has Oracle abilities he can barely control, thanks to the incident with wild magic that's left him in his current state, a state that seems to shuffle through all forms of magic, as seen in Hunting Palisman. When Luz, Gus, and Willow tried to infiltrate the Emperor's castle in Agony of a Witch, Belos displayed an evolved version of Oracle telepathy, as not only was he aware of the kids' attempt to steal the healing hat, but he communicated with them without a single amulet. He also claims to be able to communicate with the Titan, and although I do believe he's bluffing at times, such as the end of Youngblood Old Souls, where he covers up Ida, Luz, King, and Lilith's escape with the will of the Titan, the beating heart does indicate that there's some truth to it. But what about seeing the future? Well, again, we've already seen him do this before, in the beginning of Hunting Talisman, where he gathers the 9 Coven heads. After placing their pendants onto the ember before him, their eyes begin to glow as they're given a glimpse of the Day of Unity. I don't think this vision was a mere hypothetical, a simulation, something that could ideally happen, but instead, a direct look at their future, a path set in stone, or at least, an outcome he's trying to guide the current timeline to. I suspect this method tends to be how Belos typically sees the future, or he used the Ember and pendants as a way to connect the Coven heads with his mind, sending this flash forward right into their brains. Being able to see the future explains a few previous encounters with the Emperor. He already knew to be on the lookout for Luz, Gus, and Willow because he had a vision of their plans prior to their arrival. He knew Luz would come to Ida's rescue in Youngblood Old Souls because he already saw her mission in his head. He knew Hunter was spying on him in Eclipse Lake because of these premonitions. And I even believe he saw far enough into the future that he knew Hunter and Kikimoro's rivalry would push his nephew far enough to retrieve the portal key directly from Amity. Which means Belos is well aware of Hunter's talisman, Flapjack. He's just letting Hunter believe it's a secret because Flapjack is useful to Hunter on the battlefield, among other reasons we're probably left in the dark of. Clearly he already knew what he was doing to Hunter, given his aloof nature in this scene, but the idea that Belos' manipulation was to ensure Hunter would be set on the path he desired makes me hate and fear him a lot more. However, it's clear Belos can't see everything. He didn't foresee that Luz would pierce his mask or detonate the portal. He probably just went into that situation knowing that he would be able to construct a bigger portal. It's just a journey to the destination that looks blurry. Belos also didn't account for Rain's betrayal, but I bet he led Darius and Everwolf to the Bat's location, which is why they were able to set up a trap even if he was unaware of the leader's true identity. At the very least, Belos didn't know about Rain until after Darius and Everwolf were already on the scene, as the timing behind Kikimoro's arrival was rather unclear. Did Darius and Everwolf contact Belos after they captured Rain, or was Kikimoro's arrival timed? Belos setting her to show up at the exact moment Rain would escape, because Belos could have had a rather unfavorable vision that clued him in on what was going on. Kikimora did say Belos was upset to learn of Rain's betrayal, so this could very well be the case. Darius did seem annoyed by Kikimora's assistance, claiming they already declined help, so it really could go either way. If these visions are a result of Belos' unstable condition, it makes sense that he would have difficulty controlling them, and thus can only see bits and pieces. It's also possible he's using something like the Oracle Spear, although it wasn't stated they could display premonitions, and I feel like this would have been present in Hunting Talisman if that was the case. All of this brings us back to that creepy message. What did Belos mean by he's looking forward to meeting Luz? Why didn't he say meeting Luz again? Well, I believe Belos was teasing events to come in Hollow Mind. An episode with a description, a magical mishap transports Luz and Hunter into a new mindscape. And this one is a twisted nightmare. Fans already speculated from promos that the purple glowing kid wearing a mask is Emperor Belos in his youth, a representation of himself similar to Inner Willow. Makes perfect sense. A new promo that premiered on Saturday also concludes with a shot, slightly obscured by text, of Luz and Hunter in that aforementioned mindscape. While it is interesting that above Luz and Hunter is a two-faced moon that calls to mind a new character that we believe to be the Collector, please check out yesterday's series if you haven't yet, the signs definitely point to this mindscape belonging to Belos. I mean, come on, why else would Hunter be there? Terra Snapdragon's message was referring to Inner Belos. That is the Belos that Luz will meet by the end of Follies at the Coven Day Parade. The Emperor has already had a vision of Luz and Hunter entering his mind, where they're poised to learn many things about Belos. Things Luz obviously wouldn't know, but would also come as a shock to Hunter. Hell, his desire for knowledge, and for his uncle to be honest with him, will probably be what lands him here in the first place. They'll try to sneak around undetected and not leave paper trails, but it's inevitable that Inner Belos will catch them in the act. Luz will meet the true Belos, the one hiding behind the mask. Well, not his actual mask since he just showed his face, but the facade! His connection to Philip Wittebane will likely be elaborated on here. Belos may be looking forward to this encounter because he may believe that whatever Luz finds will only complicate things further for her. empathizing with Belos and his mission. Luz walking away from everything, feeling more twisted up inside than she ever did before. Luz questioning if the Day of Unity is actually a good thing. This is sure to be a major episode, and I can't wait for us to get our hands on it. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. Rate this theory out of 10. Can Emperor Belos see the future? Does he already know that Luz will invade his mind before it's even a thought in her own head? Let us know in the comments below, and keep the conversation going over at Roundtable Vids and at Vox on Twitter and Instagram. Follow for the memes, and submit your fan art for our fan spotlight, the first one of which seen in our most recent breakdown. If you enjoyed this video, please sort of like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more Owl House content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day.